Welcome back to the news at 10. A consortium of petroleum tank farm owners in Ohara, Warri and Koko in Delta State have donated medical equipment and food items worth 100 million naira to Delta State government. The equipment include 2 ambulances fully fitted with ventilators, 15 hospital beds, face masks, goggles, coveralls, in addition to various food items.
A concerted effort best describes this situation. A group of petroleum tank farm owners have teamed up to support the Delta State government in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Ventilator-fitted ambulances, hospital beds, face masks, goggles, overalls and food items are part of the group's donation to support the cause. The representative of the tank farm owners who presented the group's items says the contribution is all about corporate social responsibility.
About 6 or 7 companies, they are sending this thing to boost and support the Delta State government. This will go a long way cushioning the effect of COVID-19.
The Delta State Commissioner for Health on behalf of the state government commends the group, which had earlier donated food items to alleviate sufferings during the pandemic.
These are great equipment, beautiful ambulances, so they are fully furnished, and of course, these pick-up loads of beds and protective gear is really a step in the right direction.
So what is worth doing is worth doing well, and with all this, it can be able to serve as palliative to Delta State as a whole.
Rain Oil Limited, Cybernetics International Limited, Matrix Energy Limited, Prudent Energy Limited, AYM Sharfa Petroleum Limited, Optima Energy Limited, Taurus Energy Limited, Nepal Oil and Gas Limited make up the consortium involved in the donation.
In Kano State, Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has signed into law the Kano State Infectious Diseases Regulation Bill 2020 into law. This is coming at a time the state government is planning to evacuate non-indigent Almajiris from Kano to further prevent the spread of COVID-19. The law empowers the governor to take any action necessary to prevent the spread of any infectious diseases across the state, including closing down places of worship, marketplaces, motor parks, public gathering, and any other activity that may likely lead to the spread of the infection. Kano State has recorded 37 confirmed cases of COVID-19, making it the 3rd state with the highest number of confirmed cases in the country after Lagos and the FCT. A man suspected to have coronavirus symptoms has died at the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital in Borno State. The Deputy Governor, Umar Kadufur, told journalists that the patient was brought in from Gwoza local government area manifesting symptoms of the virus. A victim who is a health worker is said to be a humanitarian worker also, whose travel history is not clear at the time of this report. Mr. Kadufur explained that a sample has been sent to the NCDC and the result is being awaited.
We have a patient who has passed away, and that patient have been tested, but the results are sent, to NCDC so that they will now come out with an official statement on that. So for now, we have to be patient and wait. As you can see, as a committee now, we have evaluated a lot of things. We have, started, putting our house together. In the event, if there's anything coming out from the, even before that, we have been putting precautionary measures. So we will not relent on that. We'll continue with all the measures that is taken as a committee. But while we await that result for now, I'll tell you people that you should stay calm and wait for that result for now.
Staying in the north, this time in Katsina State, where the state government has declared indefinite stay at home in the state capital effective Tuesday. The directive is a fallout of the discovery of 3 fresh cases of COVID-19 in the state. Governor Aminu Masari says the state now has 12 confirmed cases, including the index case who died before he was tested positive before he tested positive for the coronavirus. 2 of the 3 new cases are from the state capital, while the other is from Dutsinma local government area of the state.
We have discussed and agreed at 7 o'clock Tuesday morning there will be total stay at home, lockdown, Katsina local government entirely. All other local governments will be restricted movement using only those local governments except Daura and Dusuma. God forbidden, should we have any outbreak in any local government, will equally close that local government, shut it down completely.
Sports organizations around the world have been forced to accept the reality that the COVID-19 pandemic will definitely have a significant impact on operations of the industry. The biggest event of the year, the Olympics, have been postponed, and that will cost Japan billions of dollars. Major football leagues have shut down and some are losing sponsorships. The sporting world is encountering challenges that have never been experienced. In this special report, our sports correspondent, Osino Kunakpan, highlights the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on sports.
Let us hope that the Olympic flame, symbol of peace and solidarity, will extinguish the virus and defeat it.
Inspiring message of hope by Spiros Kapralos at the handover ceremony of the Olympic flame to Tokyo 2020 organizers. What used to be a colorful event had no spectators. You know why? The COVID-19 pandemic. Japan had invested so much into the games. Officials couldn't imagine a postponement. The coronavirus outbreak gave them daily mental torture.
It's the first time in Olympic history that we have to address such a postponement, so give us a little bit of time, please.
What is likely to be the impact on the Japanese economy? I've kind of read some studies by some university professors who kind of estimate that the total cost of the postponement of the games would be to the tune of $6 billion.
In Nigeria, sports followers were patiently waiting for the 20th edition of the National Sports Festival, one that will be properly staged since Eco 2012.
It is why we decided to rebuild the Samuel Ogbamodia Stadium to world standards.
The hosts, Edo State, said they were ready to make it a memorable competition. Admirable work was done at the Samuel Ogbamodia Stadium, and pre-testing events were successful. It cost a lot to plan for such, and with just days to the kickoff date, COVID-19 said no.
Mr. President took the decision and gave the directive that the National Sports Festival, Christine Edo 2020, should be postponed as a precautionary move against the spread of COVID-19.
Sports has suffered arguably the most losses in this pandemic. Major football leagues have shut down, clubs approving pay cuts, and some laying off staff.
The English Premier League is costing them, on TV rights alone, not match day expenses, about £800 million. La Liga, 750, Serie A, 780 million euros. Back home in Nigeria, we have to sit down with our sponsors, try and consolidate our sponsors and see what we can do.
From basketball to tennis, boxing, and athletics, the COVID-19 pandemic has damaged sporting events. The Teslim Balogun Stadium is unbelievably quiet. Nothing is happening. Cancelled sporting events and a growing uncertainty is the harsh reality of COVID-19 on sports. Major competitions have been pushed till next year, but nerves are not calmed. And that's because officials are still struggling to understand what post-COVID-19 will bring. From the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos, Nigeria, Austin Okonakman, Channels Television News.
Joining us now on the News at 10 to discuss the impact of the COVID-19 on sports in Nigeria is former Queen of the Tracks and Sports Administrator, Mary Onyale. A pleasure having you on the News at 10 tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure you do miss all the action that sports comes with, especially the Olympics, you being a former Olympian yourself. So how much of an impact do you think COVID-19 has had on sports, apart from all that Austin said in his report?
It has had a very, very huge impact on sports, especially from the Ministry of Youth and Sports angle, and the IOC, of course, and the Edo State government. We prepared, take Edo State Festival, for example, everything has been prepared. We're prepared all the way to a few days before the postponement. I have to give kudos to the Honorable Minister, Mr. Sunday Dare, the Edo State government, and the Minister of Health for, gathering the courage to move the festival forward. Because the athlete's interest has always and will always be paramount on the hearts and the minds of our administrators.
Yeah, and a tough decision there, especially with all the money and all the funds that have gone into it. Another big event is the Olympics, which has been moved to next year. It will still be referred to as Japan 2020, but holding in 2021. As an Olympian, do you think it will still have, the same excitement and the same, energy that the Olympics comes with?
I bet you 100% it will, because one of the reasons is because we've been given 17 to 18 months advantage. So right now, the athletes that have not qualified have a greater chance or opportunity to qualify, and countries that were not quite ready to get the athletes ready are now getting the athletes ready. Perfect example is us. We also have qualified about 30% of our athletes. Those that have not gone to their qualification will now be able to get a chance to qualify and qualify more athletes, so we can feature more a bigger contingent. The Minister of Youth and Sports has also gone a step further to look for relief funds for these athletes, because before now we were kind of worried about how they're going to prepare the funds for them to prepare properly for the Olympics. But he has gone ahead to kickstart another initiative on top of the adoption initiative that he had already launched in December. So the Athletes Fund, Relief Fund is in place right now. Honorable Shoneme has been very, very gracious to be the one to kickstart the fundraising. We're going to go all out, all the way to the National Trust Fund, Nigeria Trust Fund. We're going to go to private sectors, corporate organizations, anywhere we can get any help to get these athletes properly funded, because apart from being starved or pushing their events forward, they are also starving for competition. And how do you compete after COVID-19 if you're not properly prepared? So we need some funding right now to get these athletes prepared, so they won't be setting their blocks 5 meters behind the line when the Olympics comes around.
I guess that will be the upside, to this postponement. The preparation time has been extended. Miss Mary Onyale, thank you again for joining us on the News at 10. And of course, everyone looking forward to when sports returns in full force. Thank you again.
Thank you.